Soft market murmur. Morning light spills through a glass roof. A row of oranges glows like small suns. He came for tea in quiet. He got a shove, a spill, and a choice. Javed. Rahman rests his palms on the counter, the way a carpenter tests a beam. Flat. Steady, no hurry. Chamomile, he tells the cashier. Loose leaf if you have it. His paper bag is light. Bread. Honey, 2 jars of jam. An envelope he keeps under his thumb. A voice 2 aisles over spikes. Prices jumped overnight? You kidding me? A broad-shouldered man cuts the line, shoulder wide as a door. He clips Javed's bag on the pass. Paper tears. Glass kisses the floor in 100 clear notes. Oops, the man says, smiling at the room instead of the elder. Need a hand. Grandpa. Javed plants both hands on the counter again. A broom would do. He keeps his eyes level, as if there's a hinge in that stillness, and the whole morning swings on it. The cashier freezes. A few shoppers study their fingernails. Someone coughs into a scarf. The room's courage hides behind produce. The man circles back. 2 knuckles tapping Javed's chest like a door he thinks he owns. Blink and I'll leave. Can you manage that? Javed doesn't blink. Outside, engines idle, then cut. Not loud, present. The side doors slide open, and a line of volunteers wheels in trays of seedlings. Mint. Basil, little flags of green. Their leader unclips her helmet, tucks a glove into her belt, and scans the room. Her eyes find the red print on Javed's chest. Her breath catches. She crosses to him first. No rush, no pose. She places her bare hand over his. Leather folded quiet at her waist. Hi, Baba. Javed's jaw tightens, then loosens like a knot being worked with patient fingers. Mara. The man laughs to nobody. Field trip? He nudges a crate with his boot. Peppers roll. A red one spins in a lazy circle and settles under a table leg. The volunteers do nothing dramatic. They simply stand, not as a wall, as a line, a calm line with room for right choices. Mara doesn't look away from her father. You always hated crowds, she says softly. I hate waste, Javed says, eyes on the scattered peppers. And raised voices. She faces the man now. No heat, no speech. Just a simple instruction. Pick up the peppers. Apologize to this gentleman. Then leave. He grins wider, but his eyes flick to the watchers. The cashier holding a broom like a question. Mark, the vendor pretending to straighten labels. He already straightened. The couple who set their apples down to listen. The room has stopped pretending it didn't see. Or what? He asks, but it lands flat. No one offers him the scene he wants. Javed breathes out through his nose. The sound is small, like dust leaving a plank. Mara waits. The man crouches. He gathers peppers. His hands are rough. The stems nip his fingers. He sets the crate back, crooked, then fixes it because everyone's still watching. He keeps his eyes on the floor. Sorry, he mutters. To whom? Mara says. He looks at Javed. It takes effort. Sir, I'm sorry. Thank you, Javed says, because dignity speaks its own language. The door chimes when the man leaves. The engines outside stay quiet. The market exhales. Even the sunlight looks warmer. The cashier finds her voice. Fresh cup, she tells Javed, already pouring. She adds a small smile like a tip she can afford. Loose leaf. The vendor slides over a new bag, already packed. On the house. Ustad, he winks at Mara. I'll run the seedling stall next to yours if you want. Javed rests a hand on the paper cup and lets the heat enter his knuckles. You always did prefer words to noise, he says, eyes on the steam. I learned from someone who built with both, Mara answers. They don't hug, not yet. Pride is a quiet wall. Doors in quiet walls take time. But something opens, the size of a palm, exactly where her hand covers his. Lila, the cashier, sweeps the last of the glass into a pan. 2 shoppers step forward with dustpans they didn't know they owned until now. The vendor aligns the pepper crate square to the table edge and doesn't stop at his own display. He straightens the neighbors as well. Small repairs ripple outward the way light moves, a soft, certain reach. A boy in a striped shirt tugs at his mother's sleeve. Why did the motorcycles turn off? He whispers. So we could hear, she says. Javed sips his tea. The envelope under his thumb is a letter he wrote a dozen times and mailed 0. It carries all the sentences that begin with if only. He slides it toward Mara. She doesn't open it. She just taps it twice, a rhythm she used to use on the kitchen table when she was 8. And he was late and dinner was getting cold. He smiles without showing teeth. One of the volunteers brings over a tray of seedlings. Basil's hardy, he says to Javed, even in small pots. Hardy is good, Javed says. Hardy forgives mistakes. Mara laughs, but it's quiet, and it lands between them instead of at someone. We're setting up a charity table by the door, she tells the room. If your windowsill has room, take a plant. If your wallet has room, leave what you can. Nobody claps. People don't clap for permission to do the thing they were waiting to do anyway. They line up. Coins move. Notes fold. A woman presses a little more into the jar than she planned. A man who said nothing 10 minutes ago says to Javed, "I saw the whole thing, sir. I should have said something. Sooner." Javed nods like a craftsman, measuring once and cutting once. Exact. Enough. Mara picks up the broom Lila set down. "May I?" Lila hands it over. "Please." Their fingers brush. It feels like passing a baton in a race, where both runners slow down at the exchange and still make better time. Javed watches his daughter sweep, one hand on his cup, the other lying open now. Not guarding the envelope. He clears his throat. "I kept the stool," he says. Mara pauses. "The high one. With the dent?" "You made the dent," he says. "Hammer upside down." "I was 6, she smiles. "You let me." "I was stubborn," he says. "So was I," she says. "Still are," he says, and it sounds like praise. The room returns to its hum, the good kind. A baby laughs at a basil leaf tickling his nose. Someone bites into an apple with a crisp, satisfying crack. The glass roof ticks as the day warms. Javed finishes his tea. He doesn't rush the last sip. When he stands, Mara is already there. Not to lift him, just to stand with him. They walk to the door past the seedling table. He takes a basil, pays with more than it costs. Outside, the bikes wait in the sun like patient dogs. "Come by Saturday," Mara says. "We ride to the community garden. Could use a stubborn supervisor." "I'm retired," Javed says, then adds, "I supervise very well." She squeezes his shoulder. "I know." They part without drama. The goodbye is a comma, not a period. Inside, the market remembers a morning when a shove didn't win. A room looked up, and a line held, quiet, firm, enough. Outside, a daughter tucks her glove back on and breathes like someone who found a door in a wall and decided to leave it open. If this story met you where you are, share one moment when a steady voice changed a room. Then pass it forward, because dignity grows the way basil does. In any window that gives it light,